What's up, guys? Um, so here we go with UFC 293. I think it's a great card. I've seen some people say that it's kind of like a shitty card, but in my opinion, it's very decent. At least to me, it has a few fights that I am interested in watching. And let's get to it. As I like always, I always start with the main event, and then we go from there. So I got main event. We have Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. This is like, I mean, it's one of those fights that, other than a puncher's chance for Sean Strickland, I just don't see how he wins this fight. See, Adesanya could have not asked for a better opponent than Sean Strickland because of his two previous fights, right? So Adesanya is coming from preparing back to back to fight Alex Pereira, who is a world-class level striker. And Sean Strickland is a striker, right? But he's not as good as Alex Pereira. MMA math doesn't work, but we saw what happened, right? When Pereira fought Strickland, he steamrolled over him. It was like nothing. Like Pereira just destroyed him. Like, what was it? Like a couple minutes into the first round? Yeah, 2.5 minutes into the first round, Pereira knocks him out. And then Adesanya, you gotta know that his striking has to be at the best it's ever been, because, as I said, he's coming from having to prepare to fight Alex Pereira twice. And then Sean Strickland is a guy that likes to strike. Obviously, I always talk about this, where if Sean Strickland's corner have some sort of brain cell, they have to implement grappling into this fight. That's if there is a path to victory, it would be for them to use grappling, and a lot of it, to get Adesanya out of the comfort zone. But I believe that Adesanya is aware that that it's something that could happen. So, and I just don't see it. I mean, if you look at Sean Strickland's personality, he doesn't look like a guy that would implement that type of game plan, right? He looks like the guy that he's going to try to prove that he's the better striker. And like I said, I believe Sean Strickland is a decent enough striker where I give him his well-deserved puncher's chance, because he hits hard and he's a good striker. He's just not as good as Adesanya or Alex Pereira. He's coming from beating Abu Sufyan Magomedov on a fight that, if you watched it, round one was pretty one-sided. Where for Magomedov, I mean, he put a decent beating on a Strickland. As a matter of fact, I believe that if it wasn't because of that Magomedov was out of energy by the end of round one, you could argue that he could have possibly won that fight if his cardio held up, because he was bringing it to Strickland all first round, but then he was completely done by the beginning of round two, almost as he had no energy left. And then Strickland started to put the pressure on, land the shots, and eventually he knocked him out. But yeah, I have Adesanya by knockout or a TKO round three. Yeah, he's the better striker. He's faster. He's, as I said, very well prepared because of his last two fights. Puncher's chance for Strickland. If he wants to win, he needs to use a lot of grappling, which I don't think he will, just because of his personality. But yeah, Israel Adesanya, TKO round three. For the co-main event, we have Tuivasa versus Volkov. We have two guys that are coming from two opposite ends, like as far as the two most recent results, right? Tuivasa is coming from getting steamrolled in less than a minute by Pavlovich, and before that he got completely dominated by Cyril Gane. other than a few moments here and there where he connected, it was a one-sided beatdown by Cyril Gane, and eventually he knocked him out around 3. But it wasn't a competitive fight at all. Neither one of those was, especially the Pavlovich one, right? There's no reason to even break that one down. It was just like, from the get-go, Pavlovich just went at him and, again, less than a minute, destroyed him. Cyril Gane, went all the way to the 3rd round, but as I said, other than a few moments here and there where Tuivasa connected, Cyril Gane was just playing with him. He was avoiding the big shots. He was landing whenever he wanted. He was landing to the body. He was able to just what Gane does, in and out, land the shots, not get hit, and eventually I think it was a body kick that started it, and then he just got the TKO round 3. On the opposite end, see, Volkov is coming from destroying Alexander Romanov, who, I mean, that guy has already been figured out that if he is one of those 5-minute guys, he has 5 minutes to win. If he can, his cardio goes to shit. But even at full energy, he couldn't do anything to Volkov. Volkov just destroyed him, went at him, and absolutely destroyed Romanov. And before that, it was an upset. I don't know if it was an upset, but I remember I picked Jairzinho to win, and then just Volkov just looked so much sharper. Both of these fights were very quick, so it's hard to kind of get much out of it. But this one is kind of similar, where Tuivasa, if he connects a solid punch, he'll knock anyone out, not just Volkov, but anyone. And I think that's his one chance for this one. And especially on that first round where he's full of energy, that's where I believe he can land the knockout blow and get the win. But every minute that passes, his punches are going to be slower, and Volkov will take over. That's my prediction. I think Volkov will be smart, survive the early storm, and eventually get the TKO round 2. Even I gave Sean Strickland a puncher's chance, even bigger for Tai Tuivasa, right? Like huge puncher's chance for Tuivasa. He could easily go there and just land the punch on the first round and put Volkov completely out cold, So Volkov TKO round 2. I wouldn't be shocked if Tuivasa puts him away in the first round. That's what the guy does. But Volkov is just sharper, faster. The kicks, the reach, just everything goes for Volkov here. I won't break down the one with Manuel Cap and Dos Santos because I couldn't find any footage on Dos Santos. And then we have Justin Tafa and Austin Lane. This is going to be one of I have quite a few underdogs for this card, and this is one of them. I'm picking Austin Lane. So Justin Tafa, well, let's talk about their last fight, right? It lasted 20 seconds because there was an eye poke and the fight ended. But if you were to judge the fight in just those 20 seconds that it lasted, I would declare Lane the winner. He was doing what he had to do. Like, he was using kicks to stay away from Tafa's hands, and they were powerful kicks that were landing. He was being he was moving in and out. He was staying out of Tafa's punching power, which is very similar to Tuivasa in the sense that first round scares me on this one, because if you look at Tafa's wins, it's, at least in the UFC, every single one of them is in the first round. Yeah, every single one of them, and it's quick. The guy goes out there, connects, it's over. However, Parker Porter, Harry Hunsucker, Juan Adams, these are not elite guys. These are not even top 10 or top 15. These are guys that are, at the bottom of the barrel in the heavyweight division. Well, I don't know if at the bottom, but not at the top for sure. The one times that he's fought decent people, better people in Bandera, Felipe, Jorgen de Crasso, he's lost. I'm picking Lane to win this one. I think the approach will be the same that we saw on the previous fight for the 20 seconds that it lasted, where it looks like it's looking like his team has the right game plan, right? Use kicks, stay away from his range, and every minute that passes, the fight favors Austin Lane. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think he will make it to round 2, survive the early storm, and then once Tafa slows down, knock him out. But just like Tuivasa, if Justin Tafa goes out there and puts him away in the first round, no one should be shocked. As a matter of fact, he's the favorite to win. So, and round 1, the guy's a monster. So, Austin Lane, TKO round 2. Not super confident, of course. Every time you pick an underdog, it is rare to feel super comfortable picking an underdog. I have done it, but it's always that, that thing that makes you wonder, why is he the underdog, right? But yeah. Let's see what else. Tyson Pedro versus Anton Turkalj. There's this pattern that it's repeating for this event. It's these guys that are monsters in the first round. Here we go. Tyson Pedro, another guy. First round knockout, first round knockout, first round knockout. Every single one of his UFC wins, it's in the first round. I'm not making this up. You can look it up. However, who are they? Harry Hunsucker, Ike Villanueva, Saparbek, Safarov, Paul. The Paul Craig one, he's decent, but we're talking more than 6 years ago. And every time he fought, he lost to Shogun 5 years ago, OSP, Ilir Latifi. Ilir Latifi was a grappler. And then he lost to Bukaskas last week, who took the fight on short. And once the first round was over, if you watch that fight, you can see that Pedro considerably slows down. This guy, Anton Turkalj, whatever, he's coming from losing twice. One to Pertino, his last fight, and before that, I can't remember the other guy's name. It was a heavyweight. I think he was a heavyweight. Anyways, he lost both of them. But his last one against Pertino, whatever, he showed that he's a grappler. The guy is a grappler, and he can go 3 rounds. I didn't see him get tired, despite getting beat up for the entire time. I think he opened up as an underdog, but I think at this point, Anton is the favorite slightly. I think he's like minus 120, minus 110. And I am picking Anton Turkalj to win by submission round 3 once he has survived and gets Tyson Pedro tired and submits him. Just like Tuivasa, just like Tafa. If Tyson Pedro goes out there and smokes him in the first round, no one should be surprised. Or even early round 2, no one should be like, whoa, how did that happen? Well, that's what the guy does. So, first round, scary, the same way with Tafa, the same way with Tuivasa. But if the guys have done their homework, he knows that he needs to just grapple, get Pedro tired, take him down eventually, and submit him. So Anton Turkalj by submission round 3, Pedro, massive puncher's chance. I have Jamie Mullarkey completely, I'm actually out of time here. I have Jamie Mullarkey by decision, Haqparast by decision. Quick summary. So Adesanya TKO round 3, Sean Strickland has a puncher's chance. Volkov TKO round 2, huge puncher's chance for Tuivasa. Austin Lane TKO round 2, huge puncher's chance for Tafa. Anton Turkalj submission round 3, also a huge puncher's chance for Tyson Pedro. Jamie Mullarkey by decision, Haqparast by decision, and then if you follow my Instagram, I post the entire card. I will post it Friday, like around noon, and I have 4 underdogs for the night. You'll see them Friday. But that's it, guys. Take care.